Here's your nightly roundup. The Justice Department tonight charging 4 cops involved in the death of Breonna Taylor. She was shot to death in her home in Louisville back in March of 2020 after officers executed a no-knock search warrant. The Department of Justice claims those officers lied on the warrant and participated in a cover-up after the tragedy.
Breonna Taylor should be alive today. The Justice Department is committed to defending and protecting the civil rights of every person in this country.
Breonna Taylor's death was one of the police shootings that fueled Black Lives Matter protests a couple of years ago. We move overseas now, where WNBA star Brittany Griner is sentenced to 9 years in a Russian prison camp. Watch.
I love my family.
Yeah, all she could say was, "I love my family." The move sparking international condemnation as the 31-year-old Olympian is convicted for smuggling drugs into the country with criminal intent. Griner was arrested at a Moscow airport 6 months ago with cannabis oil in her luggage. President Biden calling the verdict unacceptable and demanding her immediate release. The White House tonight working with Russia on a possible prisoner swap. We're still waiting on that. Now to Texas, where Alex Jones is ordered to pay millions for spreading awful lies about that Sandy Hook massacre. A jury ruling the host of InfoWars must cough up $4 million in compensatory damages to the parents of a 6-year-old who died during that shooting rampage in 2012. Jones told his listeners that Sandy Hook was a hoax and that the parents were actors. Many believed his lies and harassed grieving families for years. The case is not over yet. A jury will now decide how much he pays in punitive damages to the parents of Jesse Lewis. He was one of the 20 children killed in Newtown, Connecticut. Now for tonight's climate check, the Great Barrier Reef finally showing signs of recovery. Environmentalists have been paying close attention to the condition of the world's largest coral reef system in Australia. Scientists are monitoring how this reef responds to climate change, and the news has not been good until now, with a new report tonight showing the highest amount of coral cover in decades. The Australian Institute of Marine Science is cautiously optimistic, saying that reef is still at risk. Also tonight, it's been a tough week for Kentucky, where residents tonight still recovering from catastrophic floods. Search and rescue teams still canvassing the eastern part of that state. And tonight, a new study blames climate change for fueling floods and droughts and warning local officials to better prepare because there will be, according to them, more unprecedented events just like this all over the country. Researchers spell out the importance of risk management strategies in the journal Nature. And remember Isaias? Exactly 2 years ago tonight, well, it was the most intense tropical cyclone to hit the U.S., and boy, did we feel its wrath here in New York City. Some parts plunged into darkness, storm-related tree damage. What a mess. Look at that. Who could forget it? With that, let's check back in with Chief Meteorologist
Live from the Ed McMahon Mass Communications Center at Quinnipiac University, this is QNN, the Quinnipiac News Network.
That's right, Emily. On Tuesday, a former KU men's basketball player and a second current student at Quinnipiac were arrested in Hamden. Katie Cohen is at the M&T Bank Arena with the story.
Thanks, Ben and Emily. Yeah, 2 Quinnipiac University students, including former men's basketball player Desi Jones and a female student, were arrested by police in Hamden on Tuesday night. We're still working on gathering details, but here's what we know so far.
Breaking news just coming in. The Manhattan grand jury just voted to indict former President Donald Trump for hush money his campaign paid to adult actress Stormy Daniels in 2016. This makes Trump the first former American president to be charged with a crime. We'll see how this impacts his run for 2024 president.
And community members put on their dancing shoes last Saturday to raise money for Connecticut Children's Hospital. Q-Thon is a year-long student-run philanthropy project at Quinnipiac, which has been running for 12 years now. At the end of the day, Q-Thon raised over $100,000 for children with rare diseases.
Ben, now we turn to breaking news out of an elementary school in New Haven today. A student brought a knife to Truman School earlier. Officials say the student took out the knife to show their classmates, and the knife was taken right away. The New Haven Police Department says all students are safe. We'll have more details as this is an ongoing investigation. Meanwhile, in Hamden, a local program is working with Hamden's youth to prevent crime in our community through building relationships and programming. Our reporter Melanie Carreri is at the Hamden Town Hall with more.
Free lunch programs across Connecticut will be extended through the end of the academic school year thanks to some hard work at the State House. Program funding from the American Rescue Plan was to expire between November and February. Governor Ned Lamont says this legislation will ensure that all students will receive equal access to lunch no matter their socioeconomic background. Schools in the Hamden, New Haven, and Cheshire districts will benefit from this new legislation.
A year has passed since Russia first invaded Ukraine. Since then, over 8 million Ukrainians have left their homes and at least 7,000 are dead. To mark the anniversary, Quinnipiac's Central European Institute led a conference to discuss America's response in the refugee crisis. Senator Richard Blumenthal opened the conference announcing the Ukrainian Adjustment Act, legislation that would assist refugees here in Connecticut. Other panelists included a Ukrainian parliament member and UN ambassadors. Right now, Carly McManus is sitting down with the director of Quinnipiac's Central European Institute, the person who put this conference together. Carly? And also, students might just have the luck of the Irish this year. The Quinnipiac community has an opportunity to march in the New York City annual St. Patrick's Day Parade.
Students, alumni, and faculty must register online ahead of the event. The school will reach out with any additional information a week before the parade. While there's no charge to be in the event, students must find their own transportation into the city. Do you think you're going to sign up?
I don't think I'm going to sign up. Actually, I'm going to be in Florida because it is over spring break. But I think that some students will definitely take advantage of this really cool opportunity to go to New York City and be a part of a big parade that people watch across the country.
Yeah, I will be at the Morristown St. Patty's Day Parade the day before I leave for spring break. So I'm super excited for that, and I wish all the luck for the New York City St. Patty's Day Parade.